On today's video, I'm going to share with you a very sad story about our family milk cow. The reason I feel it's important to share this on video is because I think that if you are a homesteader and wanting a family milk cow or have beef cows, that this video is very important and that you should watch it until the end. This story is about our Jersey cow, Easter. She was about 8 years old, and she has been, and from the very beginning, she's in a lot of our videos. She's a very beautiful cow, a real light colored Jersey. Her sire was Bruno from Holt Creek Jerseys, and so she was a very much important brood cow for us. So we'll start this story so her name was Easter, and she died within hours of consuming hay with very high levels of nitrates. And let me back up a minute. My thing, I guess, that I am known for, or that I have really put a lot of time and effort into, is the health of family milk cows. I've in-depth studied diseases, bovine diseases, and their health, and I've spent an enormous amount of money having my animals tested, and they're quarantined, and I have a closed herd for a very long time. I've studied how stress affects their health. I mean, I have done everything that I know to do to make sure that my cows are safe. But I did not see this coming. That's why I'm sharing it with you. So she died within hours of consuming hay with very high levels of nitrates. However, we did not have a licensed veterinarian examine the cow to verify, and there was no testing to prove that this was the cause. I'm not an expert, so you need to do research. There's lots of universities that have information about this, but it's very important. The goal of our video is, of course, to make you aware of the importance of testing your hay before feeding it to your valuable resource, which is your cow. So here is what happened, or what happens in nitrate poisoning. Nitrogen turns into nitrates, and this is a sorghum hay. The nitrates bind to hemoglobin, so the blood cell cannot take oxygen or transfer. It cannot take in oxygen or transfer oxygen. There is no oxygen, so the brain is saying, breathe faster and faster. The cow's not burping as she's breathing faster and faster, and her body can't assimilate oxygen, so gas builds up in the rumen and the cow bloats. The cow succumbs to death from a lack of oxygen. If the cow survives, there is also a chance the calf will not survive. Easter suffered extreme bloating, so much Mr. Roofer couldn't bury her for 2 weeks. There were no signs of struggle, so she passed quickly. There is not only a sentimental value of losing her, but a large financial loss as well. She was a very important brood cow to us, and we lost Easter and her calf. She was due in April. So our hay was high in nitrates, and so I did a lot of research on this, but it's still a lot of science, and I could have a few things wrong, so you need to look it up. So why did this happen? The plants were stressed, and fall is the most common time that this happens. It's mainly in sorghum hays. Some reasons the plants are stressed: drought, which we've had plenty of, cloudiness, the age of the plant, sometimes younger plants, it's most likely. And here's what Colorado State University says about it. The most common stress of summer annuals is drought, lack of moisture, together with excessive soil nitrogen for existing growing conditions, is a frequent cause of toxic levels of nitrate in sorghums. Other factors are reduced sunlight from cloudiness or shading, frost, and certain herbicides. So if the plants do not use nitrates, it builds up, and if the hay is cut when there's a high level of nitrates, it remains in the hay. It does not dissipate. Nitrates fluctuate throughout the year, but mainly, they're high due to drought. It mainly happens in the fall when most farmers are cutting their hay, mainly in sorghum type hay such as hay grazer, but is less common in grass hays, but it's still possible. Ask for a hay report from your farmer before feeding your cows hay. Mr. Roofer, so what we did is there were no signs. He gave her at bedtime a little snack, and the next morning at daylight, she was gone, and she was not even still warm. And Mr. Roofer has been doing this so long, he can tell about how long ago an animal expired. So what he did is, our local feed store has a tool that they let all the ranchers use to take hay samples. And we made a video of how to do that. It's coming right after this video. So what he did is he had our hay tested twice to verify results. We contacted the FSA office in our county, which is the Farm Service Agency, and they do not offer hay testing services. And then the NRCS office is also in the FSA office, which is the National Resource for Conservation Service. And they also did not say that they don't really offer that service. So it did, in our area, our local feed store has the tool to take the hay sample, and they send it directly to the lab, which in our case, it was called Servitech in Amarillo, Texas. I think they're a chain, there's other labs around. The cost it's $12 for nitrate poisoning testing, $8.50 for protein, and I think $30 for prussic acid, plus shipping. And our local feed store took care of all the shipping. We just provided the sample. So I would say that if you don't have access to a local feed store, your FSA office does not offer it, then the third, I guess, resource would be a university such as Texas A&M. Most of you have a university, I guess, in your state. So anyway, that is what I would do, and it's definitely worth the, let's just say it's less than $20 to have a nitrate poisoning, so definitely worth it. Prussic acid is also something that you need to be aware of, but that's a different video. The lab that we used was called Servitech, and I did call them, and we got, a full, it gave you like what the number was. Our nitrate was 2930, and that falls between the very high, extremely dangerous. So we called our vet and told him when we got the test back, and he was, do not feed that hay. Do not give it to any of your cattle for any reason. But when I called Servitech, they said that they have, they have a lot of information on their website. They're servitech.com, and I can leave that below in the description box. And you'll want to look under crop file. And if you have a family milk cow, or chances are you're probably feeding your family milk cow hay, so let me strongly urge you to get the hay tested. I called Texas A&M also so I can understand why the cow died, and there was nothing that I could have done. They said that it was fast. There was no antidote, and any amount of it, I'm really into immune systems on my cattle and low stress, and there was nothing they said that I could have done, that it was just automatic. It would have killed her if she had eaten very much of it. So anyway, very sad video. I'm very sad to have lost her. I've been working on genetics for 20 years. And so losing a brood cow is really sad for us. But anyway, I hope that this helps you, and I hope that you will take this seriously, because just like that, she was gone. And so anyway, from our Texas Hill Country farmstead to you, have a blessed day, and we will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.